What's up guys, my name is John Evans. I help athletes jump higher, get healthy, and improve their confidence. And in this video, I'm gonna show you the proven system to increase your vertical in just 8 weeks. All right, the first thing that you need to do if you wanna increase your vertical in 8 weeks is increase your squat to at least 2 times your body weight. Now I know there are a lot of standards out there that recommend that you need to do this or you need to do that, but strength is the easiest way to increase the ceiling on your force production. To do this, you're gonna need to squat at least 2 times a week, but preferably 3 times a week. The squat that I would use is a deep high bar front squat. And the reason for this is that it balances the hip and knee very nicely and helps improve your general force generating capacity in the quad and the hips. If you want to blend in some front squat, that's totally fine. I would encourage doing that 1 time a week because doing back squats heavy 3 times a week can cause a little bit of back pain, and front squat is a great way to unload the spine. Number 2, you need to improve your power clean to at least 1.25 times your body weight. If you're a lighter athlete, this will be a little bit easier to achieve, and so you might want to shoot for 1.3 times body weight. If you're heavier, you can be on the lower end, closer to 1.2 times body weight. How I'd recommend going about this is clean pulling at least 1 time a week paired with one of those squats, and then power cleaning the other 2 times a week. Now, while max strength is really important, and that's why I recommended that 2 times body weight back squat, you also need to improve your power capabilities. Now, if you have these 2 metrics, it is not the only thing you need, but it is probably the lowest hanging fruit when it comes to improving your vertical in just 8 weeks. I cannot emphasize this enough. Technique is absolutely imperative to getting to this 1.2 times body weight or 1.25 times body weight. Focus on getting the knees back on the first pull and aggressively driving through the floor on the second pull. This is where the greatest wattages are achieved. You'll get more coordinated, and you'll also work on your eccentric force generating capacity on the catch of the power clean. All right, number 3, you need to get your 30-meter sprint time to at least 4.65. Now, this is not a very fast time to run, but it is fast enough to demonstrate that you have very high early rate of force development. Now, early rate of force development helps you accelerate off the ground early in the jump, but it also ensures that you're not just getting really, really strong and really powerful, and you're able to accelerate just your body weight relatively quickly. Remember, sprinting is just vertical jump turned sideways. Another additional benefit is to run at least a 4.6. You have to have low body fat percentage, and sprinting is a great way to do that. I'd recommend doing this 2 to 3 times a week. All right, number 4, you need to get your RSI, reactive strength index, to at least 3.5. 3.5 is a relatively high number. How you calculate your RSI is you look at your flight time divided by your contact time in a stiffness hop. This is a good assessment of your tendon stiffness and neuromuscular efficiency. You can be strong in a squat, you can be good in a power clean, but if you have poor neuromuscular efficiency, you're not going to be able to display that force quickly and use your tendons optimally. I would only recommend doing this 1 to 2 times a week. It is very intensive, and as a result, you're not going to want to overload this too much. 4x6 stiffness hops, progressing in intensity each set, is a great way to work on this. All right, number 4, I mentioned this briefly, but you need to decrease your fat mass. Fat mass is non-functional, it doesn't help propel us into space, and it's ultimately going to be fighting your muscle's ability to generate force and accelerate you upwards. Some recommendations that I make: try intermittent fasting. It's a great way to decrease your caloric intake, and it's super easy to abide by if you have the discipline to do so. I recommend starting with a 12-hour fast and slowly increasing that fast time as you get more comfortable with not eating early in the morning. Specifically what I do, I wake up, I don't eat until about 6 p.m. From 6 to about 9, I eat. I go to bed around 11, and then I wake up, I sleep that whole night, and then by 11 o'clock, I've already got a 12-hour fast. All right, number 5, you need to have a session once a week focusing on jump technique. I cannot emphasize how important this is. It is so common that athletes go out and jump all the time, and all they're doing is reinforcing bad habits. You need to perfect your technique. This is going to allow you to display the force that you increase in your back squat or your power clean on the actual court. Real quick, I want to highlight in the description section, there is a free jump technique tutorial, plyometric, and strength guide that is incredibly descriptive and will tell you what lifts to do, how to do them, and how to program them. So check it out. It's completely free. It's in the description below. Additionally, in these jump sessions, you're going to want to practice lobbing the ball. So have the same person and the same rim and the same approach every single time, and you need to work with the person tossing the ball. This will help you get your first dunk if you haven't had it, and if you're trying to increase your vertical, it's very important that you decrease the amount of variables in your approach. And lastly, I want to talk about a taper. So after doing the recommendations that I gave you for the first 6 weeks, the last 2 weeks, you're going to want to drop the volume of what you're doing or the reps in half. So if you're doing 4x8, go to 4x4, or go to to 2x8. Volume is the total amount of reps that you're doing in a given day or week. This will allow your body to recover in the first 6 weeks of training that you're doing, and it will allow your fatigue to dissipate and fitness to shine through so that your performance increases in those last 2 weeks. 2 caveats that I want to add that can also help: try to cut out a lot of basketball play. This can ultimately add more fatigue, but if you are playing basketball during the taper, definitely take that out. And also, I would recommend using caffeine on your high intensity lifts. So the days that you have heavy back squats and cleans and sprints and you're doing those stiffness hops or you're jumping, go ahead and take some caffeine. This increases your RFD, and it is a great way to improve performance and adaptation over time. That's the video, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.